All right. Good morning. Good morning, Manila, Philippines. Good evening in the U.S. and wherever you are, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you guys. My name is Salud from Powcast Sports. On today's live, this is morning in Manila. I'm from Manila, and I'll be talking about the recently announced Ryan Garcia versus the Devin Haney fight. And this is actually very exciting for a lot of us, especially Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, two of the most popular guys in boxing these days. They're gonna fight each other in a 12-round fight on April 20th, and a lot of fans has reacted to this. And personally, I'm gonna give you my point of view in this fight, and it's a good fight. It's a fight that a lot of people would want to see. However, I think the hype up to this fight will be a lot better than the actual fight. Let me tell you why. I'll also be discussing about Japan boxing, Philippine boxing, and obviously I'll be also sharing a little bit of information about why fans are crazy about Casimiro here in the Philippines. A lot of you guys, a lot of international fans or followers of Powcast Sports have asked me a question whenever I do content about Casimiro. What's happening? A lot of drama here in the Philippines about Casimiro. And some of the guys call this the Crazy Miro show in the Philippines. So we're going to be talking about that. Uh, if we're going to talk about Philippine boxing, I'm also going to give a little bit of my opinion as well on the USA boxing situation, American boxing situation. I might not be the right guy, but I'm going to give you my opinion instead because I'm also as well. Anyway, because I'm a little bit worried about the American boxing situation, and with the recent boxing events having to be held on a Thursday night in the U.S. and not Saturday night, so I'm a little bit wondering why that is the case. And today is Sunday morning. Usually, when we have live on a Sunday morning at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock morning in Manila, which is Saturday night in the US, usually there's big boxing event. Right now, there is none. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. We're also going to be discussing a lot of Filipino boxing updates in English for the international fans to actually recognize as well some of the Filipino upcoming fighters. And we have some news about Filipino fighters going to the US and fighting in the US. And one of which, of course, Charlie Suarez potentially fighting. I don't know if this is official, but one of my admin has posted this, so we'll talk about that. We're also going to be talking about the upcoming boxing event that's going to happen in the Philippines for a former world champion is fighting. So that and more after this. This will be probably an hour show in English. So if you're outside of the Philippines, please comment down below. I'm doing this for the international audience. And hopefully we also gain some international audience because a lot of you guys are asking about what am I saying in reference to boxing. So here we go. Let's talk about this. I'm just gonna do a countdown. When I return back, I'll be reading some comments. If there are any comments, and hopefully you guys comment in English so that the international fans would understand it. My name is Salud from Powcast Sports. I do boxing, basketball, and MMA commentary. And today, it's about boxing. So here we go. Are you guys ready? Ready? Not yet? Yes. Here comes the boom boom pow. Thank you guys. I'll see you in a minute. Just a countdown. Please share, like, and comment.
The views and opinions expressed on this content is for entertainment only. The individual views of the guests and the comments by fans are their own and does not reflect the channel's and the owner's opinion. We respect everyone's opinions and comments, however we ask everyone to be respectful, understanding to each other. Let's have a healthy and fun conversation to promote the sports we all love. This video is copyrighted to Powcast Sports. If you wish to use part of this content, you may do so by getting less than a minute footage and following the fair usage policy guidelines. If you wish to advertise or be part of the show as a guest or would like to collaborate, please send an email to inquiry@powcast.net. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Powcast Sports. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This content is presented by Arena Plus, Astig sa Sports.
Finally, it's happening, and it took some time. It took some thinking, but right now it's happening, guys. We're gonna be doing English version. So, after this live, I'm doing admin work just so for my followers. I'm gonna try and set up a schedule for the whole week, so you know, guys, when I'm speaking in English and when I'm speaking in Tagalog. And again, the purpose of this one is, for not only for me to gain international viewers, but at the same time to actually introduce our Filipino boxer to the whole world, and so they can understand what we're talking about when we're talking about our boxers, especially, of course, the popular boxers here in the Philippines. So, shout out to you guys. Let me just read some comment. Aldrich, shout out. Ray Mark Martinez, thank you so much for your comment. We'll talk about Pacquiao Buacao. I haven't placed them here yet. Let me just put that here. I'm just gonna be reading a few comments before I start with my discussions on the other topics that I have for today. So just bear with me. Yeah, well, we're talking about boxing today. At Sanji, Algerian kid. Hi, Algeria. I'm white from UK working here. Shout out, Algerian kid. How are you doing, sir? Shout out, Joe Harry. Good morning, Professor. Salud. Always remember my English is shallow, not ocean deep. Dumb McLeod. It doesn't look like you're so dumb, right? Shout out, Joe Harry. Good morning, Mats, Marts, Nosage, and someone asked, Sir Pao, is there a partnership between MP Promotion and TV Network? I think there is, but I'm not quite sure if it's live, or if it's a partnership to show the fight live. March 2 would be there. March 2 would be the start of title fight, Pau, and we got it. Luis Alberto Lopez versus Rhea Abe for the IBF featherweight title, and Otabek Kolmatov and Raymond Ford for the vacant WBA featherweight title. Aldrich, thank you very much for mentioning that. Actually, because of what's happening locally, and all of the drama and the trending topics locally, I actually enclose myself to a lot of conversation locally. But because of this, we'll be trying to understand more the international boxing scene. So again, let's go ahead and start our topic. And the first thing that I wanted to say to you guys is about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. So the Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney fight is going to happen April 20th. Initially, I thought that this fight wouldn't happen right now. When I mean right now, not yet. Of course, obviously, I'm very excited to see Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight again. These are the two fighters, two of my favorite fighters. Two different styles. But Ryan Garcia, for his sake, I was thinking maybe it's not the time yet for Ryan Garcia to fight someone like Devin Haney. And this was the same sentiments that I had when Ryan Garcia set up a fight with Tank Davis. And you know what happened there, right? So that fight, Ryan Garcia got defeated, was one of the worst beating of Ryan Garcia. His power couldn't do anything. So I think this fight, the build up to this fight, and this is with all honesty coming from the Philippines. We're watching boxing every time. And Ryan Garcia is one of the popular guys here in the Philippines. A lot of boxing fans know Ryan Garcia, but we also understand that Ryan Garcia, his popularity may not be at the same level of your skills yet. He's one of the popular guys. He's a money fight. And there's a reason why Devin Haney chooses this fight, because this fight would certainly gain a lot of money and a lot of attention, being Ryan Garcia's, an Instagram or social media star as well. Unfortunately for Ryan Garcia fans, and don't get me wrong. I'm a Ryan Garcia follower. I love Ryan Garcia and like to see him fight. I think he got the skills, he got the power. Unfortunately, Devin Haney is, I think, still in a different level compared to Ryan Garcia. I think he's a different level. Now, comparing the fights, the previous fight of Ryan Garcia, which he fought Tank Davis has power. He's smaller, which could be an advantage for Tank Davis. Devin Haney is not small. So maybe this time he would be able to hit Devin Haney with that left hook, with that patented left hook, or with that powerful left hook from Ryan Garcia. But still, the weapons of Ryan Garcia is not enough against a much skilled and a better boxer. And Devin Haney would probably win this one by unanimous decision. And he might be able to also knock out Ryan Garcia. Obviously, every boxer has a chance in this fight, and if you get hit by Ryan Garcia, you're gonna get hurt. Because he got the power, but I don't think his style is gonna be good enough for Devin Haney, who has good footwork, who has good defense, and we've seen that time and time in his fight. Devin Haney is a champion for a reason, and I just think, guys. Anyway, anyone watching from the U.S. or think that Ryan Garcia is gonna win here? I just don't see Ryan Garcia winning this one. This is just my initial opinion. I know there will be a lot of conversation about this, a lot of talks, and a lot of video that's gonna come up. They're gonna hype this up even more, and I think this will be on the same level of the Tank Davis versus the Ryan Garcia fight. I just felt that this is too soon for Ryan Garcia. Maybe I thought initially, because Ryan Garcia was hanging out with Floyd Mayweather, that he's gonna be more smarter in reference to his boxing choices, his opponent choices. But it looks like the money is coming first. When I say the money is coming first, meaning I think they know and they recognize that this probably would make a lot of money, and I think so. It's gonna make a lot of money. Let me go ahead and answer a few questions, but I think before reading the questions, I think Ryan Garcia will be an underdog, maybe a heavy underdog in this fight. Edsa, happy birthday. Langa, happy birthday. Ivan Zamora, and thank you for asking question in English. For you, Sir Pao, what are the keys to victory of Ryan? For me, he's still the same Ryan who fought Tack. It's gonna be a lopsided UD for in favor of Devin. Likewise, but let me think of the keys to win for Ryan Garcia for you. I'm gonna get back to you and give you a much detailed answer to that. But for now, I'll give you this. Devin Haney is a boxer, and he has a good footwork. So I guess if I'm gonna be thinking right now of keys to win for Ryan Garcia, I think Ryan Garcia should not overcommit or should not be too aggressive in this fight. Um, or maybe he should. Let me think about that. The different. I was thinking of Ryan Garcia, Ryan Garcia's experience with Tank Davis, but the difference with Tank Davis and Devin Haney, Tank Davis got power. Tank Davis got power, so maybe this will be a different story between the two. Maybe Ryan Garcia can accept the punch of Devin Haney. So maybe Ryan Garcia should be aggressive and stay close. Maybe he needs to stay close with Devin Haney in order to give himself a chance. Maybe he needs to be a bully in this fight. I just don't think that is his style. Ryan Garcia, he's very flat-footed, so he's gonna need to actually. I think he's gonna need to push it. That's one thing. He's gonna need to push it because he's gonna be outboxed. I'm telling you right now, the build up to this fight will be much more exciting. Um, Especially if Ryan Garcia would be the same as the last time. He wouldn't be able to land that significant punch. I hope he does, and I really do, because an upset is always the better story. But I just don't see that happening. Okay. Ryan Garcia got shocked when Tank caught him thinking that he could handle the speed and the shocking power of Tank. Well, Tank has always been a power puncher, and that small of a guy with big punch um, made it difficult for Ryan Garcia to counter him. So maybe this will be a different story now. Maybe this will be a different story now. Aldrich, Devin doesn't have the power punch that could knock boxers out, but his fundamentals were perfect now. On the other hand, Ryan Garcia got the power but lack of timing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he got the speed and the power, but Ryan Garcia, I mean, he got a lot of, every advantage in the book in reference to the boxing skills. So, Ronnie Alcos said, "Hi, pal. Would you think is going to be a snooze fest? Is there a list of undercard of the fight yet?" Um, let me check my list here. First of all, I think this will be a fight that a lot of people are going to be interested in. Two of the popular boxers in the United States of America, so they should support this. If this will be a bust, then there's really something wrong with USA boxing, and that's one of my topic actually today. So honestly, I don't think it will be a snooze fest. I think Ryan Garcia's fight is always a good fight. Whether he's winning or losing, Ryan Garcia, because of his following, you get crowd reactions, you get a lot of interaction from the fans when Ryan Garcia is fighting. Plus, I don't see Ryan Garcia being technical in this one, so he's gonna have to risk it, Ronnie. So that means this fight will be right. And Devin Haney, I think, will take advantage of the lack of footwork and being flat-footed of Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia's face will be. Remember when Manny Pacquiao fought Oscar De La Hoya? The commentator, I forgot the name of the commentator, one of the legendary commentators. I said he's rearranging the beautiful face of Oscar De La Hoya. This is what's gonna happen with Ryan Garcia. I don't think Ryan Garcia will be knocked out. He might be TKO'd for getting he may get a lot of punishments, but I don't think he's gonna be knocked out. Maybe TKO, because he wouldn't be able to move as much against Devin Haney. So I think that's that. I think that's my opinion in this one. It's probably too soon. Not too soon for the money, because the money is gonna be good for this one. But Ryan Garcia to fight this one. There's no undercard yet, unfortunately, Ronnie. Keep the question coming, guys. The next thing that I wanted to share to you guys is this, no? This is just a quick one, and I'll be answering some questions to you. I before I forget, and I have other things that I wanted to share about boxing in the U.S. is the next topic. Let me just share this one. Former world title challenger Jason Mama arrives in Los Angeles airport. He's slated to fight the WBA flyweight number 7 contender Ricardo Rafael Sandoval this February 15 in California. So good luck to our compatriot Jason Mama, a former world title challenger. I hope he wins that one. I also wanted to mention that allegedly, and so we heard that unbeaten former Olympian and super featherweight contender Charlie Suarez will face unbeaten Puerto Rican Henry Lebron. This was initially scheduled in February, but it was moved in April. I haven't seen the press release on this one, so consider that as a rumor as of right now. Okay. The next thing that I wanted to share to you guys is about my concern with the USA boxing. And if anyone from the US is watching this one, please let me know if I'm on the right line or the right direction in this one. Let me just read this one. Devin doesn't have that power punch. Okay. Sir Paul, there's no boxing fight today, unfortunately, Jerick. So that's why we're just doing conversation. Do you think Shakur will possibly go out of retirement if a fight between him and Devin, lightweight class? Um, Shakur Stevenson and every boxer that retires at a young age has always the possibility of going out of retirement. And Aldrich, if you've been watching boxing for long, you would recognize that there is no permanent retirement in boxing. Like a lot of boxers these days, or in the past, they announced their retirement and then suddenly they came out of retirement, and the reason for that is, uh, sometimes spending habits, sometimes it's just it's just too good to decline the offer. So if there's the right offer, a boxer would consider coming out of retirement. Most of the time that happens. So there's no permanent retirement, and plus Shakur Stevenson is young, so I wouldn't close that door. Ronnie, do you think this is a better weight class for Ryan? Health wise, it was indeed a disadvantage when he fought Tank the last time. Yeah, well, after that one, I thought the 135 pounds was good for Ryan Garcia. Now he was fighting in the lightweight. Now he's moved up to 140, right? This is a 140 fight. His last fight against Jurado showed that he can carry his power and he has what it takes to fight in 140. Although Jurado is not really, or Duarte is not really a top fight. So I think so. I mean, Ryan Garcia is not a small fighter. He's the 5'8", and just for your perspective, guys, Canelo Alvarez is 5'9" or 5'8", if I'm not mistaken, and he's fighting in the light heavyweight, super middleweight. So Ryan Garcia is still young at 25 years old. This guy would still grow and can still grow, and maybe he's gonna be much more powerful at this weight. So yeah. Sir Pao, how do we cure the Dama Cloud? Don't start that. Like Pacquiao and Mayweather coming out of retirement. Yeah, I mean, there's no permanent retirement in boxing. Sir, usually the live, Jerick, I'll do the live at 9 p.m. So tonight I'm thinking of doing a personal live on my other channel. So please watch out. Please just do not forget to subscribe on both of my channels. Again, I'm doing an English comment discussion today for all of the international fans. I know a lot of you guys are from the Philippines, but help me grow our so that we would have much more a better community here. Yeah, I mean, they just saying that they will retire because they avoid some possible hard matches, or they just want to hype up to increase their payday once they go back. Yeah, we don't know, but yeah, that those are all possibility. Tank one via hydration clause. Takot. Yep, you got it. Any details on hydration clause? I don't think there is a hydration clause in their fight. And plus, this is WBC, so I don't think there is any hydration clause. They're about the same size or height. Junior welterweight, 140. Well, we're bound to see it. We're bound to see if this is gonna be his best weight. All right. I'd like to move on and just give on a little bit of concern with regards to the USA boxing. So for the past years, I wanna share this one. For the past years, every Sunday morning, and we got used to this because in the Philippines, every time Manny Pacquiao fight, we watch Sunday morning. Sunday morning in the Philippines is Pacquiao time for the longest time, and this has been the home of boxing in the Philippines. That time, forget about me going to church for a while, because Sunday 9 o'clock a.m., which is Saturday night in the U.S., it's about boxing. But these days, and I'm happy that April 28th is a Saturday night for boxing, and this should be on a weekend. But for the last few weeks, boxing has been on a weekday, on a Thursday night. What's happening in the U.S.? What's happening with boxing in the U.S.? Is boxing a dying sport in the United States? So I'm showing a little bit of concern in reference to that, and of course, lately we've seen boxing or the big fights going to the Middle East, which doesn't really favor me because every time there's a Middle East fight, that fight is the same time as around United Kingdom, or that around that time. So that fight or the event usually start as at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then the main event happened at around 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. That's not good for me. So, but uh, that's just just being selfish for myself. But I'm wondering if boxing is becoming a niche sport in the United States of America, where it is not now a priority for sports fans to watch on a weekend. Obviously, on the weekdays, people go to work. They have the different priorities, but at the same time, it's just hard to imagine now that boxing is moving on a weekday. So hopefully, the boxing community in the U.S., especially the promoters, promote big fights. And I know that UFC and the other sports are the priority, especially this weekend. And I understand why there is no boxing event again. Let me just double check. February 16, 17. Um, there you go. At least there's one. But this is Oshaki Foster. Let me just check if this is gonna be on a Friday night or a Saturday night in the US. Um, Oshaki Foster. Because on this weekend there's a NBA All Star, February 16 in the US. So yes, technically it's Friday night. So it's not Saturday. It's not Saturday night. So again, boxing has been moved out of its usual spot, which is Saturday night in the US. Now it's either Friday or Thursday, and it's a little bit concerning. Obviously, this could translate to boxing being a secondary sport now, or not a priority of the network, either the network or the venue. So, what do you feel about that? So, hopefully boxing goes back because, obviously my channel here is primarily about boxing. I know more a lot about boxing than any other sport, especially for Filipino boxers. So just showing a little bit of concern what's happening there, my American friends. So let me read some comments first, and then after this one, I'm gonna be talking about Japan boxing and Philippine boxing afterwards. So, oh, shout out to my friend VD Kings who's listening or watching right now. This is an English episode, my friend. So, VD, shout out to your wife, Christine. Hello, Christine. Good morning. We gotta change a little bit of our style so we can gather more, followers. Okay, Aldrich, thank you so much, Aldrich, for your comments. And guys, I know we have 70 viewers right now. Not a lot, but it's a start. Could you guys engage with me and ask me questions? Uh, Even if it's in the Filipino language, I'll translate it into English so that our international friends could understand it. You can ask me about anything. And don't worry, guys, we're going to be talking about Casimiro later in English so that the fans outside of the Philippines or those non Filipino speaking followers would understand what's really happening here in the Philippines in reference to the Casimiro show. So Outreach Mar Fisher, you know why international boxing is now crying? It's because they opened the idea of fighting vloggers and known boxers for the sake of payday. Total nonsense. I'm gonna say this. Actually, I have a different perspective on that one, Aldrich. I hope you would listen to this. I actually feel the other way around for this. And here's my reason why. So you mentioned here the boxing is now crying in the international stage, especially in the US, because they have opened the idea of fighting bloggers. basically doing exhibition fights. I think those kind of situation actually appear because of the lack of quality in boxing matches in the US in recent years. The opportunity for vloggers, for retired boxers to come out, because boxing fans has been looking and craving for an exciting kind of fight, not a lopsided kind of fight. And therefore, boxing fans, instead of like watching the fight, because most of the time they know the result of the fight because the matching is so one-sided, and at the same time the matching is not really the what the fans wanted. For example, this is the closest example that I can give you right now. Before the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight could happen, it took years, and boxing fans, got tired of that, and they look for different avenues and different platform to entertain themselves in reference to in reference to combat sports. And that's why UFC or MMA has flourished now, because honestly speaking, UFC, where they have all of the fighters, one promotion, they have all of the fighters, all the popular fighters. Of course, there's Bellator, there's one championship here in Asia. It's easier for them to make the fights happen because it's under one promotions, and the fans get what they wanted, and it's just a different culture. And if you notice right now in the US, when you're watching a UFC fight or event, celebrities are there. Celebrities flock to the fight, to the events. And while of course there are still boxing movies as well, you're seeing a lot of combat sports related or MMA related movies as well. So, that's actually the reason why MMA flourished, boxing bloggers flourished, and retired boxers coming out and doing exhibitions, because there's just, not enough entertainment or not enough kind of exciting boxing fights that's happening. And those are the opportunities for those, guys to actually infiltrate the sport. So it is the sport of the boxing itself, not to be able to give the fans what they truly wanted to see now and not later. And that is why, just to go back with our primary topic here, Ryan Garcia, I salute him for fighting Devin Haney. This is one of the fight, an exciting fight, although it's a little bit one-sided, but still, Ryan Garcia is fighting the best. So you cannot deny that. Salute to Ryan Garcia, but he's gonna lose this fight. If we have a lot more of these kinds of fights, then boxing would be a lot more, in a better position. Honestly speaking, that's the same goes with every boxing nations. Now, in reference to Saudi or the Middle East, it's a different game there. Boxing is a different game there, and so I believe, and so I heard from reading boxing news and speaking to boxing friends in Saudi. They have the money there. In the US, you gotta earn pay-per-view, you gotta earn gates, you gotta earn sponsorship. In Saudi, and I see this in their events. They have the heavyweight stars there. They have big boxing event. They invited all of the boxing superstar because they have the money. They have the sponsorship already. That's why it's a different game there. It doesn't matter if the venue is not that big. If it's 25,000, 45,000 people, if it's 8,000 or 3,000. I mean, there's kings and queens and princess and prince watching that and paying a lot of money, and that is enough already to make up for the expenses and to pay for the boxers. The boxers these days, they actually get paid a lot of money. So, all I'm saying is that the boxing needs to improve from within. Competition will always be there. Someone better, someone hungrier, a new boxers, a new promoters, a new sport will always be there. And if we want to survive, we gotta be better. Same way with the vlogging. Someone better than we will be coming up. UK is less 6-7 hours, so BPO boss UK. But between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Watch out. There seems to be an issue with Convert's internet last night. It was disconnected as well. Yes, that's true. Saudi is the new mecca of sports, hosting boxing. I think there is a plan for hosting a basketball event and also football. Also, there is a plan of one FC. You got it. There's a reason for that because they have the money. You aware that something like YT Box Rec already exists? Garcia is a knockout artist. I'm sure Haney will sleep. So will Haney. So Pow, Salud. Bring a pillow and give it to one of them. That's a good fight. Beat that up. Okay. All right. My perspective is different. I think Haney is gonna win by decision. Um, I agree with you, but matchmaking is not happening because 80% of the time they don't have the new way to sell or promote the fight, and most of the time boxers themselves are rooting for a big payday. Yeah, the catch 21, catch 22. What is it again? Like it's a lose lose situation. But someone has to. It's a catch 22 logic. That's what I'm saying. So it's it's a situation that someone has to sacrifice, but it is what it is. Boxing fight, it gets boring because of Floyd Mayweather's mentality. Many boxers adapt because nowadays they do not want to lose their zero. And obviously I as let me answer you on boxing's perspective. On a fan's perspective, man, that's like not good because boxing is, the matching is not great and the style is not great. So, we want to see some blood, we want to see some fighting, and this is where, the other combat sports came in. But at the same time, you cannot blame the boxers because the promoter themselves rewards undefeated boxers, rewards them. And you've seen the success. First of all, of course, you want to be a world champion. You want to stay healthy at the same time. And it's true what they say: boxing is a hit and not get hit sport. But it's not that fun to watch that kind of style. But who can blame them, right? So they're just gonna have to find a way in order to make it exciting. Maybe change the rule a little bit. Okay, so I want to also discuss a little bit about Japan boxing. We talked about the USA boxing, Japan boxing these days. And I'm a Filipino, guys. Filipino from the Philippines, and obviously, I'm a little bit biased about Philippine boxing, but I gotta admit this one: Japan is in Asia. Japan is the place to be for boxing, for money, for great fights, and for great boxers. These days, with the emergence of Naoya Inoue is leading the pack of great Japanese boxers, and a lot of Japanese boxers these days, and not even Japanese, not even the great boxers from Japan, are winning. Even the newbies from Japan is or are beating our kababayans or Filipino boxers. Somehow, of course, I feel bad about this, but it's Japan's turn. Japan is the best boxing nation in Asia right now, and that's coming from me, who has been a big supporter of Philippine boxing of Manny Pacquiao. They have the likes of Naoya Inoue, Kenshiro, Junto Nakatani, Seigyo Yuri Akui, Ray Abe, Yoshino Kazuto Ayoka, Shugioka. They have dominated the lower division. Obviously, we're Asian, so we're good at the lower division. So Japan is the best boxing nation, and I think the boxing in Japan is flourishing. I think it's flourishing, and it's better. Boxing is better in Japan. That's why Filipinos goes there every time. You know the difference when you fight in Japan and you fight in the Philippines. It's a lot of money. It's a big difference. And that's not only the Philippines compared to Thailand and compared to other Asian nation that does boxing. In Asia, boxing is big in, of course, if Philippines, Thailand, somehow maybe in Indonesia, but not right now. Vietnam is emerging. There's a lot of amateur and a lot of boxing now lately happening in Vietnam, but still not as big as the Philippines. And then the Papua New Guinea is starting boxing, but still not that big. But the biggest boxing nation is Japan, and the biggest concentration of boxers still, I believe, is Japan. And Philippines is following. Of course, Thailand is also there. But if you're talking about money wise, um, Philippines is not really the place to earn money for boxers. It's not that big. I mean, you can earn money, but it's not gonna be as big as Japan, and there's a reason for that. And the reason why Japan is flourishing because the fans are supporting their events. So we gotta start supporting from here. So I'm saying this in English so that our international fans understand what's really happening. And hopefully in the days to come, I don't know if this is the right time. Maybe I should do it on 11 o'clock, but I'll think about these things, and I write up some topics about Filipinos and about boxing for the international fans. So, yep, let me read some comments. For higher weight class, Saudi is now the lead. For lower weight class, Japan, middleweight classes are still held in the U.S. When do you think will shift to Asia? The middleweight, I don't think it will ever shift to Asia because our concentration and our focus will be the lower weights because those are all our boxers. Saudi is getting the bigger weight classes and would probably get the middle weight divisions, weight classes. Um, because these are the popular guys. These are the guys that gets a lot of eyes. If you remember before, there's a lot of discrimination in lower weight classes. They're not paid well up to right now. I mean, consider this: a big fighter who's fighting in a regional fight in the U.S. gets paid more than a world championship fight that for a lower class for a minimum weight because fans obviously wanted to see big bad and strong guys fight each other, and that's I think one of the reasons why Saudi and the Middle East, who has the money to pay these kinds of boxers, are getting these kinds of boxers. So I wouldn't be surprised if Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and the likes of Errol Spence, Terence Crawford gets a fight there as well. And plus, obviously, the promoters and the Saudis or whoever is financing them, obviously, I think like the heavyweights. Oh, happy birthday, Pil Young husband! Happy birthday! May you have a blessed day today. Thank you guys for the comments. Daniel Comier said in a podcast that in boxing, damage is more severe because in MMA, there's no counting when the knocked down, and it can be finished when down. Unlike boxing, there's a counting and give chance to fight back and be hit again. Now, Ronnie Alcos, thank you so much for that. I've seen that. So there's a notion. There was a question being asked which sport is more dangerous, and I'm gonna explain this, but I think you understand this already because while it looks more brutal, MMA, because they have thin gloves and you punch them while they're on the ground, so it's the impact will be strong but quick. So that's the difference. While in boxing, you get hit multiple times in the head, and there's a concentration of punches in the head. In MMA, you get different styles. It's mixed martial arts. That's why when MMA started, it was to define or to understand who has the better style or discipline. Now it's a totally evolved sports where all of the discipline are there. But if you're fighting in MMA, you get kick, you get punch, you get submission. There's not a lot of concentrations in a certain part, and so there's a lot of different parts that could get hurt, and there's a lot of different weapons. And when you get knocked out, yes, you don't get counted out, and so it's gonna be quick and painful. But in boxing, you get a chance to fight again, you get hit and hit and hit. So the longer I would say it doesn't look good right away for MMA because they they're down and they're damaged physically, but the mental and the physical effect for boxing is much more dangerous in the long term. So that's what I'm trying to say. Paulo Tao Alburo. It's because Japan is doing their best efforts. They allotted the budget and the government also supports them. I don't know about the government. I couldn't verify that, but all I can say to you is that I think the Philippines is also doing best effort. Maybe it's not enough, but the fans also needs to do best efforts, and the economics is different. It's really, I think, the case for the fans. If Filipino boxing fans has different, the economics is different, then it will be a different situation. And that is why Philippine boxing needs to also, and courtesy of my friend Diego Bandido, who's also heading the Omega Sports promotion, we need to target as well not just the masses for boxing fans, but also class A, B, C. But that's not gonna happen if we don't groom our boxers to be likable and to be charismatic or to be liked by the class A, B, C fans. And obviously in the Philippines, and I don't know if you realize it yet, MMA has that class in reference to the fans. Because I've been to a boxing event and an MMA event. It's really different, and I that's coming from me that experienced that. Going to local boxing events and MMA events here in the Philippines. Sunday morning, unfortunately, that's why we're doing a podcast in English. There's no boxing event, and that was my topic earlier. I'm a little bit concerned because there's no boxing event today. Thank you so much, Pil Young Husband. Let's move forward. Kalapatids, thank you so much. Good morning again. Good morning. Devin versus Pacquiao 140. Okay, this would be a good time for me to talk about Pacquiao and Buakaw. So Pacquiao and Buakaw is scheduled to fight in an exhibition fight. I think. Let me just double check on the date. Is it April 1st? Pacquiao versus Buakaw. I forgot the date. April 20th. April 20th or July. So if this is gonna happen in Thailand, I'm considering going. I'm gonna get some accreditation for this. Let me see if I can get an accreditation. This is for me. I'm watching this because I'm a big fan of Manny Pacquiao. Not because, I honestly speaking that I will see a great fight. This is more of giving back to the fans, both fans, and and entertainment. It's not professional. So Buakaw is a kickboxing or Thai boxing legend. So, but for Manny Pacquiao to go back to pro, and I heard this because after the Buakaw fight, Pacquiao is rumored. I say rumored because it's not yet official from what I heard, but it's almost a done deal. Again, allegedly that he's gonna fight Floyd Mayweather after, and Floyd Mayweather has been mum about this. So I don't know if that's really true. Floyd Mayweather has been mum about this. So I guess after Floyd Mayweather exhibition, depending on what happened, he might go back to pro, but I highly doubt it. He doesn't need to. I mean, there's nothing else to prove unless that pro fight will be Floyd Mayweather himself. You see what I'm saying? I've been talking about this for a long time, being a Pacquiao fan and a Filipino boxing fans. I would support Manny whatever he wanted to do with his career, but there's just no sense of going back and fighting Tank Davis, fighting Devin Haney, fighting all of these young guys. I mean, there's nothing to prove right there. It's just gonna be too risky. Too risky where he can get the same money fighting in an exhibition fight. I mean, we gotta accept that Manny Pacquiao is already a retired boxer. But again, we don't know. Maybe it's gonna happen, and if it happens, then I'm gonna be first one on the line. So Devin Haney versus Pacquiao. Pacquiao in their prime? Yeah, Pacquiao. Tapales and Martin is not gonna fight. They're on the same promotion. Do you consider Pau Ryan Garcia a payday before like? Do you consider Pau that Ryan Garcia is a payday like Canelo, even though he lost to Tank? Yes, Ryan Garcia is a popular guy. Here's the thing. I've been saying this. There's a difference between a popular boxer and a great boxer. There's a difference between the two. Ryan Garcia is a popular boxer. He can be a great boxer, but he is popular for right now, which means in these days you don't get paid because of how really good you are. It's because of how much money you turn up. How much money. So that is why Ryan Garcia gets paid more than a lot of the world champions. And that is just the fact. That is just the fact. If you're the reason why the promoter is earning a lot of money, then you're a cash cow. But it doesn't mean that you're the greatest of them all. I mean, there's a lot of boxers you put above Ryan Garcia when it comes to skills and when it comes to who's the better boxer. But there's a lot of boxers below Ryan Garcia when it comes to payday. See what I'm saying there? So I think Ryan Garcia is one of the cash cow, and Ryan Garcia is good for boxing. Ryan Garcia, he lost to Tank Davis, but his name is still there. This is one thing that has been missing in boxing these days, because in boxing these days, if you lose, then you lose your marketability. Ryan Garcia is proving that even if you loses the fight with Tank Davis, even if that loss is bad, then he still is marketable. And that's the way it should be. Don't judge the boxer with just one defeat. Judge the boxer, with maybe continuous fight. And Ryan Garcia knows how to promote, has the charisma. And remember when I was talking about UFC and the boxing that we couldn't get the match? In UFC, losses, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter if you lose. You can still be a main event fighter. There's a lot of main event fighters in the UFC that has a lot of losses. But because they establish their names and they produce good fights, they're still the main event and they still get big money. And that's the problem with boxing these days. If you lose one time, fans doesn't support you. Fans would say, oh, you're not good. So, consider that. Ryan Garcia is a cash cow. No matter what you say. And that's coming from me from the Philippines, guys. I'm not in the US. And Ryan Garcia is one of the popular guys here. Popular boxers. I think boxing boxing should more exposure blow by blow. In the past are telecast every Sunday. There's a fight right now. You just read blow by blow in Spain in just in the bloggers. And like what I said, catch 22. Unless we find a sponsor that's willing to pay, then it's a problem. So it's again, with whether we admit it or not, in the Philippines, we are rebuilding again the brand of boxing. With Manny Pacquiao and without any world champions right now, Philippine boxing community is looking for that next phase of boxing that could truly help the community grow again. We don't have that. We have a lot of guys, but we don't have the Manny Pacquiao. There's a difference between great and good boxers, and there's a difference between differentiators, or it like in the business industry, disruptors. Manny Pacquiao is a disruptor. He disrupted the community of boxing, and he elevated the community of boxing, and not only boxing as a sport, but the Philippine community, from being well known, and this is the fact, from being well known as a helper from the international stage to becoming known as a fighter. a lot of stories coming from Filipino OFWs in the past, and this was a long time ago, and this is a real story. When there's a Filipino abroad, automatically they would assume that he's a helper, he's a nurse. They take care. He's the laborer. But right now, when you ask about when a foreigner asks about a Filipino, he's looked as a fighter, and that's because of Manny Pacquiao. Oh, Filipino? Oh, Manny Pacquiao. Now they know that we can punch, right? And that gave us respect, and that gave us pride, and that's why he's the fighting pride of the Philippines. And those are the things that we cannot take away. Pacquiao gave us that, so he's more than just a boxer. He's an icon. Okay. They said that that's gonna happen. They said Pacquiao Gotti is gonna happen instead of Pacquiao first. So, yon. I guess you don't want to content Janibek and kind of the unified. I actually do. It's just that unfortunately, um, unfortunately, wait. Unfortunately, I'm not that familiar with the fight, but I'll get back with you solo. And I must admit, I'm the cruiserweight, the cruiserweight, light heavyweight, because most of the time Russians are these last names are the one fighting there. I am not that familiar with them, but I will get back with you, and I promise to do a lot more of international boxing for the international fans. Um, so there you go. Maybe tomorrow I'll do around 11 or 12 o'clock. So because I also still have to do the basketball comment or basketball topics. Mike Crawford is always impressive. His win, you can call him a payday boxer like Ryan Garcia. Charisma is different than skills, bro. You gotta have charisma. John Carlo. I mean, I've been saying this. You're blessed if you have charisma. There are people that has charisma that it doesn't matter what they say, it doesn't matter how they speak. Like there's vloggers, that has charisma. When you look at them, it doesn't look like they know a lot. It doesn't look like they're well educated, but when they speak, people listen because they have charisma. So, Kaalaman, I couldn't see your comment. I apologize about that. I didn't see your comment. Kaalaman TV. Crawford versus... Oh, there you go. Ang dami ko palang nalampasan. Any Garcia surpassed pay-per-view. Inoue versus Magsaya. There you go. Inoue, Mark Magsaya, 130. Impossible for now. We're gonna have to wait first for Inoue to fight in the featherweight. And if he's good in the featherweight, then let's start talking about the Magsaya fight. Magsaya just went up to 130 pounds, and I doubt if he's going back to 126 to fight Inoue. I doubt. Nothing is impossible. So when you ask about is it possible, maybe, but not right now. Crawford versus Ennis, who win? And your thoughts, bro? I think Crawford still wins. Ennis is good. Ennis is actually. I think Crawford doesn't want to fight Ennis. I think Crawford doesn't want to fight Ennis. Oh, there you go. Crawford is scared of fighting Ennis. I think he doesn't want to fight Ennis. I think Crawford is thinking like a businessman right now. He just wanted to get the big fights, not because he's scared, or maybe he's scared. Or not because he's scared. It's just maybe there's just the risk reward ratio is not that great with fighting Ennis. Unlike when you get a fight with Canelo, big risk, big reward, and that should be better. You should allot time for NBA trades since trade deadlines. Yeah, Paolo, what's your suggestion? Because this has been one of my issues because of the I'm doing dual sports most of the time, basketball and boxing. I just couldn't find time on how I would be able to do basketball and boxing at the same time. Or should I just mix it in one show? I don't think I should mix this. Maybe the next day um I'll do basketball. So and I think I'm much more comfortable doing the live because I got an editor that cuts and pastes things. So we'll see. But Paolo, I'm open to your suggestion if you have any suggestion how I should manage my schedule, because you're gonna be the one watching anyway. When I was still an agent of Sykes BPO, when customer asks where you at, our response will always be Manila, Philippines, land of Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was household name in the even in the US. You got it all right. And Ronnie Alcos, just so you know, we're buddy, man. We're both we both came from the BPO industry. I was once a call center agent myself, and for a while, for a long time, and I become a team leader and a manager. My last position when I was still working, maybe around before 2009. I think 2008, 18, I was a business development manager at a BPO company. Sean Porter. There you go. And the reason why you keep asking for these things, Paolo, it's because we haven't been, we're still wanting for more, and just we couldn't find them in recent boxers. So if and this is sometimes a bad sign when you ask for retired fighters to come back, which means you couldn't find the entertainment and the excitement from, or you couldn't find enough excitement or entertainment in the active boxers. Solo Sikoa. That's gonna be a different story, man. That's gonna be a different story. Of course, that depends on the kind of fight that he brings to the table. But if you look at UFC, there are fighters there that have 5 defeats. Conor McGregor has defeats. How many defeats does Conor McGregor has? Let me check. I'm not that familiar. But that question, come on, man. That's a kind of maybe a sarcastic question. 35 years old, Conor McGregor. Let me see. Is the share dog? Where's the 26, 22 and 6 UFC stats? 22 and 6. He has 6 defeats. Manny Pacquiao has 6 defeats. So that depends. You win, you lose. You win, you lose. It's all great fights. If it's still bringing entertainment, it depends on the fight. You can't just. This is not fantasy basketball, fantasy football. I play fantasy basketball. I don't really care if the player shoots it. He looks good in shooting and in passing. I care about the stats. It's not about just the stats. It's not about that. It's about the entertainment factor you give to the fans. So if he still has that entertainment factors, even if he has 10 defeats, but obviously I gotta look. Is he winning in between those, or is that 10 straight defeats? So you gotta consider those other factors. I think a fighter will always be a fighter. But obviously, when you are in the advanced age, that will be different already. You're different from your prime. When you're on your prime days. El Mojar, luchador mexicano, soy Filipino. Hola, señor. Muy poquito es español. Mi nombre es Paulo. Here in the Philippines. So, thank you so much for watching. Salamat. Yung mag-size paso at 130 maybe 2 or 3 years from now. Yeah, that's just too far. We're talking about things that are probably not gonna happen yet. It's in the mind of Filipinos because we want to win against Inoue. Thanks, Lotsky Mods. I know a lot of your background, sir, been following you for a while now. I saw your LinkedIn profile. Thank you, Ronnie. Yeah. So I guess you got surprised when I sometimes get heated here. But it is what it is. I've just adjusted to the situation right now. So people are telling me that I got the money because of my blogging. Not yet, not that yet. It's because I work in a BPO for a long time. I was a manager. Good morning, Joni. Okay, I got an hour show. I think this is enough. I'm just gonna finish the comments. So if I'm you guys, please put on your comments now, and maybe yeah, maybe this is right. An hour show is good, right? I think it's better to at least a lot of weekend for NBA, like Saturday. I think also Billy attracts more audience since he has a lot of good judgment on basketball. I'm also getting a lot of hate because of Billy from the from the press themselves. A lot of professional journalists have messaged me, not a lot, some, and commented on. But we'll see what we can do. But the thing that I'm thinking, Paolo, and you might not like this, is I'm gonna limit the fans night, which means the Royal Rumble where everyone is there. So probably I'm gonna limit it to once a week for basketball and once a week for boxing. Ronel, is that even a question, bro? Of course, Manny Pacquiao. And people would say I'm biased. Who has the better career, Pacman or Money? Okay. Um, maybe my editor could do this. So the question is, who has the better career, Pacman or Money? You will call me biased. You're probably gonna call me biased on this one, but um, consider this. Yes, Floyd Mayweather defeated Manny Pacquiao in their fight. I will not give excuse. A defeat is a defeat. But if you look at the career of Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, I think the impact of Manny Pacquiao is greater than Floyd Mayweather. I think as a whole, the career of Manny Pacquiao much more exciting, and it gives more impact to the community of boxing, not just in the Philippines but in the whole world. If you ask a dozen or 100 of boxers who they like as a boxer, and Manny Pacquiao will always be on the list. If you ask fans who is the more exciting, who you like better, I think Manny Pacquiao will be the answer for most. Manny Pacquiao is much more loved than Floyd Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao does a lot more things beyond boxing, and he has transcended not just the boxing, not just himself, but he has transcended his nation to the boxing world and to the whole world. And that impact in itself is bigger than whatever undefeated record Floyd Mayweather has. Again, I'm not even gonna give excuse about what happened in that fight, that he has injured and all that. Even though Manny Pacquiao was defeated by Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather is undefeated, Floyd Mayweather has a perfectly designed architect record, and I'm not trying to discount his wins. Those are great wins, but Manny Pacquiao, from smaller division to the bigger division, it's much harder to accomplish, and that in itself as well, again, is one reasons why Manny Pacquiao is better. I mean, there's a lot of boxers, and probably if your goal is to be undefeated, you can be undefeated. Like there are, before there is a Thai fighter that's undefeated. It's easier to be undefeated than to be an 8 division world champion. It doesn't matter what you say about about the defeats, but that is harder to accomplish. Yeah, see if Floyd Mayweather can defeat Canelo Alvarez, or bigger guys. And that's all I'm saying. Manny Pacquiao was a much better and bigger impact, and I'm not saying that because I'm a Filipino. I'm saying that because that is the fact and that's the truth. Okay, now there's a lot more question. I'm just gonna try and finish the question. Who's the best trainer for Rangers? Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goosen, Derek James. He's with Derek James, right? Joe Goosen. I couldn't. Well, at least he was undefeated with the Eddie Reynoso. I would say Eddie Reynoso. Joe Goosen they didn't have much of a. It's yet to be fine. We I would still stay Eddie Reynoso, bro. No further comment on that. What's the latest on Aerosmith? Still trying to heal that eye, I believe, or that he's injured. Better boxer, earner, Mayweather, greater accomplishment. Yeah, well, money isn't always everything. Money isn't always the. If a boxer talks about his money so much, that's not good. I mean, money is good, but money is not it's not the business. It's sport. Well, what we some of you consider boxing as business, but as a boxer, it's still a sport for you. You don't get that rank because you have a lot more money. Um, I Bivol, a great boxer, skillful boxer than Better Bieb, but it's just the last fight of Better Bieb is just too powerful. Better Bieb by early prediction, Better Bieb by knockout. Bro Ronald Money is just saying that he fought many champions in his undefeated career because he knew that Manny will say there are fighter who is also undefeated, more than his undefeated record. Roy Jones Prime, Mayweather Prime, who's better? Um, who's better? Roy Jones. I like Roy Jones more because of his style, because he's entertaining. But Floyd Mayweather, if they fight, in the first place, I wouldn't see that happening during Roy Jones' prime because Floyd Mayweather is good enough to fight his opponent on the right time, where it's either it's about to go down or just going up. Yeah, Roy Jones hit you in your prime, you're knocked out. Floyd Mayweather is such a good technical boxer that it's gonna be hard for him to get hit. And just being objective about this, if they fight, maybe Floyd would still win by decision. He's gonna run and utilize his footwork and the four corners of the ring in order to win against a heavy puncher like Roy Jones Jr. I think Tyson Fury beats Usyk. He could come back in WWE. Please watch WWE Pow. There are others Filipino watching. I know I do watch WWE in the past, but solo I gotta say right now, I got a lot of friends doing wrestling, but too much already. I mean, just today, while I'm doing this live, I'm or before I was doing this live, I was watching basketball, and I have to keep track of that because, of course, I'm sponsored by Arena Plus. Which, thank you for reminding me to say this. Shout out to Arena Plus, my sponsor. You can register by sending me a message on the. I couldn't paste the link, the direct link to Arena Plus, but send me a message if you're interested, and that's for only 21 years old and above. That's licensed by Pacor. English language seems to be more civilized. This is interesting. Worshippers and certain self. Yeah, well, help me build this one so I keep doing this. And I did this in the morning because it's nighttime in the US. Hopefully we can gather international boxing fans so we could have more conversations like this one. Just gotta find a way on how to interject the basketball part during the afternoon session or the morning session. Did I hear news that the fight between Charles Suarez and Henry LeBron is done deal? I wouldn't say it's official, but it's most likely gonna happen. I have yet to confirm it with Charlie Suarez, but my admin or one of my admin has posted it already. Julio Cesar Chavez 89 record before he got defeated on his 90th fight. But I mean, take a look at who Julio Cesar Chavez is fighting. No fight tonight, unfortunately, bro. Just reading some comments. Legendary coach and trainer promoter here in the Philippines. Okay. Okay. I guess that's it, guys. It's I'm beyond 1 hour, and I'll see you again. Let me see if I guess the reason why I did live, I don't want to edit, but let me see if I could do the basketball show. But I have a little bit of a headache already. Maybe too much English today. Okay. Anyway, guys, shout out to all of you guys. And if you want me to do more of this one, I only got 80 viewers right now. Please continue to share, like, and comment this video. And if you want to see me again do an English version of our live show, please continue to support. My name is Salud from Powcast Sports. I'm from the Philippines. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Boom, boom, pow. Salute to you guys. Salamat po.